What's going on, everybody? I'm Dylan. I run Crust for Nostalgia. In this channel, I teach you guys how I make my 3D printed movie props and different things like that. In this video, I want to teach you how I made this awesome life-size Gunbai. This is for my best friend Ben. It was a Christmas present to him, his favorite weapon in Naruto, and so I made Madara's Gunbai, and this thing is absolutely massive. It is so nice. I adore this thing. This thing is so cool. I'm so happy with how this is done. It's actually made out of wood. The bar goes all the way through both sides, so it's not just on one side and strapped in there. It's fully through there. It's so solid and massive, and like I said, all wood. So let's get into how I made this thing, and at the end you're going to get to see me actually give this to my best friend.
So yeah, this one isn't 3D printed. This is all woodworking, so it might be harder to follow around. I use a lot of tools with this one, but it's an awesome build, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. And thanks for supporting the channel. Everybody who likes, comments, subscribes, sends plastic through the wish list, everything like that. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I love you guys. Supporting on Patreon has been awesome, and I really appreciate you. So this project, I ended up doing like 3 attempts at it. The first time I cut it out, looked great, and then I tried to route the edge on it to round it over, and it ended up not coming out good with the router. So scrap that, threw it away. Then I tried it again, and it came out looking really good, got it cut really nicely, and you can maybe see what's wrong with it here. I don't know any poses with it, but yeah, cool. Yeah, I put it on upside down. I just wasn't thinking of it the way that I had drawn it out. I had accidentally attached it upside down, so I had to start all the way over. So let's get into how I actually made the real one. So first what I did was I made a template. You have a larger circle than the other one. Pretty much my goal was to have the blade and the pole be the same size, so 3 feet of blade, 3 feet of pole, so that it looked really nice proportionally. So then all I did was just take that template and I traced it onto the wood. Once I had a nice outline, I used a jigsaw, which is really good at making curved cuts, to cut out the initial shape of the gunbai. A tip with using a jigsaw is look where you want the blade to go. Don't try to look at the blade on the line. Look a little bit ahead to where you want that blade to go. Once I had that all cut out, I actually then sanded it down to 220. I wanted to get any of the smooth finish off of the whiteboard side and off of the chalkboard side, so that way it would take paint better. So then I cut the closet pole down to 6 feet, about 3 feet of blade and 3 feet of pole. And I kept trying to think of how was I going to get the pole to go around both sides of the blade. I thought about splitting the pole all the way down and then wood gluing and nailing the pole together. But instead what I tried to do was I just used my table saw and I ran the pole down the table saw to the point of where it would be 3 feet cut down the center. I flipped it over and then ran it again to make a bigger distance, a bigger channel and gap to be able to slide it around there. And it came out fantastic. With the split down the pole, now I was able to slide that over top of the gunbai, this time in the right direction. And then I used a brad nailer, which is very thin pin nails, 18 gauge, 16 gauge pin nails. And I used that to go through both pieces of wood into the pole there, and it doesn't poke through the other side. I think they were about 1.25 inch nails, and it was really good to attach it because I did it on both sides, so it kind of created this pin system that would stop it from being able to slide or pull out. And it's super sturdy. I was kind of worried, like, goodness, is it going to be so heavy with wood that is it going to be flopping around? Is the pole going to bend? But it was so unbelievably solid. I loved it. Then a nice touch to do with it is to use wood putty over those little nail holes so that you don't see them in the pole once it's all nice and finished. With the putty on there, then I used 320 grit to sand down the wood putty and to sand the surface of the blade even more to get it really nice and smooth and ready for paint. So for the first coat of white, I actually made a little tarp area out front, and then I just sprayed it there, but it was a little too windy. But the funny thing is about spray painting this giant Gunbai fan is that once you're done painting it, you can air dry it and swing it around because it's, you know, a giant fan, so it dries pretty quickly. But just joking with that, you don't have to swing this thing around to air dry. Give it 10 minutes to cure and do the next layer of paint. The next 2 coats of white I ended up doing in my spray booth. I had just enough area to be able to fit it all in there, and that helped get rid of the wind. But yeah, give it 10 minutes between each coat, and then you're good to go. So then I was trying to figure out how I was going to do the black outline around it, and what I decided to do was to make it a smaller template. So I took the original template, found 2 circles that were smaller than the circles I used for the original template, and traced that to make a smaller inner circle for the white area. I cut off the excess of that template to make a smaller template, And then what I did was I lined that template onto the Gunbai, and I ended up putting masking tape underneath the curve there. And then I traced the template onto that masking tape. And with that outline on the tape, I was then able to use an X-Acto knife to cut off the curve and make it really nice. So I did that for all of the sides, and then when I had that all nice and masked and cut and had really sharp edges, I then filled the center with paper. This gave me a nice outline for the black spray paint that I was going to do next. So for the markings, you can honestly blow up the size of a comma and get those markings there. And what you can do is you can either print that on a regular sheet of paper, make an outline, and then make a stencil to hand paint them. I actually did these in vinyl. My fiance is a vinyl cutter, and so she made me these, which were really nice, and it made it really look professional. The markings came out so good. I was so happy I was able to do it that way. And next, for that center bandage around the Gunbai, I had a strip of cloth that you can get from like Michael's. They have long banners of bandage and things like that. And so I wrapped that bandage around and I hot glued it at different sections. But unfortunately, my footage is terrible of me trying to hot glue the bandage around the Gunbai. But I think it came out looking really good with that kind of tattered up cloth that was wrapped around it. And then we're so close to being done, I then only had to do athletic tape around the handle. And so I used my athletic tape that I got from Target here, you're seeing, and just wrapped that all the way around the rest of the 3 foot of pole there. And it just really tied everything together and made it look so good. The size of this thing is massive and it looks so good. I'm so happy about it and just really proud of how this thing came out. It was awesome being able to make such an iconic weapon for my best friend, something that he really cherished, and him to have a big prop to be able to take home and, you know, have a piece of Naruto for him was just awesome. He means a ton to me, so I hope you watch at the end of him receiving this gift. It was a really good time giving to him. I was just very happy to make it for him. But I hope you guys like this weapon. I hope you guys stick around to see more props that I make, and I hope you guys enjoyed the build. I think that this thing is amazing. That, gosh, it's just so realistic having the pole go all the way through, and just the finish on it came out so nice. But as always, if you've made it this far in the video, you guys are the backbone of the channel. I love you guys so much. Your support really helps me out. So if you're new, like, comment, subscribe. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know what you think of this project or things that you may want to see in the future. But you guys are the best. And like I said, stick around and see the reaction. Love you guys. Peace.
Oh, you absolutely killed it. Dude, that is what I am talking about. Like, and it feels so sturdy at the bottom. Yeah. Best Christmas.
It came out sick.
It came out so sick. Like, bro, what?
Yeah, everything I wanted it to do, the bar going through, it being wrapped.
Yeah, this part especially, like the wrap on the body of it, like the tomoe look great.
Yeah,
like
it looks
absolutely sick, dude. Yeah, this got to be the best one in
go,
the
brother.
entire
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Pumped with how that came out.
Yeah.
It only took 3 tries, right?